Welcome to another Lipa Live Sports Show. I'm over at the New York Times Square studio. Chris is holding down the Tampa home front. Happy to start this day off. Once again, it is another exciting week of football. And week one couldn't have been any better. We couldn't have asked for anything more. It was just great to see the season kick off and a lot of exciting games. Go to start this off. Go right away in the Tampa Bay area. Chris, what is going on over in the Tampa Bay area?
Well, we're definitely ready for some football, but first let's just say happy birthday, John. I don't know how old you are, 60, 52, 48. It's somewhere in those ranges, but you don't got as much gray as me. I can see you kind of.
Well, that's because after I drink milk, I'm polite enough to wipe the milk off my chin, Chris, and I do appreciate your enthusiasm.
Milk gives me good,
and thank you for the birthday wishes. They come faster every year, and I think it's because the earth is just spinning faster because every morning I wake up, my hair's parted to the side. So I've been switching sides. I sleep on. Time flies.
You know, this is going to be a great week 2 of football. I counted 7 games.
Look, hang on a second. We weren't done with my birthday yet, pal. All right? When it's your birthday, we'll spend a minute and a half. I heard, rumor is, you show up to the studio today like your head honcho getting an Uber limo, and you show up 10 minutes before we go on air. It's my birthday, pal.
Yeah, I've turned into a diva since this show started, I guess. Yeah, I got out here a little late. I do apologize for that, but hey, I'm ready to talk football and birthdays if you want. I mean, you know, when you get to our age, we stop talking about birthdays, but I do have birthday month too, so I get it.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. So Chris, let's just kick it right into football. You ready for that? You ready to kick it right into football?
I'm always ready to talk football.
All right, well, if you're ready to kick it right into football, my friend, then let's just go ahead and give a little bit of a preview of what we saw with the Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals with the Thursday night game. Chris, what can you tell me about that, my friend?
Well, I don't think anybody expected Cincinnati to come out the way they came with three touchdowns to A.J. Green. I mean, I liked Cincinnati, and Murphman liked Cincinnati. You liked Cincinnati. But I really don't think anybody expected the first half we saw out of Cincinnati. You know, this football season is we're gonna have. I'm seeing a lot of things that I didn't expect already in week 2. You know, some teams winning games that you didn't expect winning, a tie in the first week. You know, AJ Green, I think that was his first ever 3-touchdown game, let alone 3 in the first half.
I gotta agree with you on that, and it was one of those things that we were talking about just before the game started. Is we're talking about, okay, so who are we going to see right now from the quarterback positions on both sides of the ball? And we got our question answered very fast in that. And there's nothing more exciting in football than watching a high-powered offense go at it. So Dalton was surprisingly on the money. I can't just say him because you're right. The receiving core there, I mean, that ball was put on the spot, and it was up to those guys to make the catch. So that was an exciting game, and look out in Cincinnati. You know, if you don't got one Cleveland team, Ohio team doing it, you're going to maybe have it in another. So look out over there in Ohio.
You know what I was really surprised in that game was the way, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, was the way that Flacco was just so nonchalant on the sidelines.
Did he kind of remind you of Cutler?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, that's kind of the way Flacco is, and he throws those lame duck passes where you know the receiver has to run an extra 5 yards to get under it or 5 yards to get back.
Yeah, or they're waiting for it because the ball goes straight up. I mean, if he's playing at Tropicana, he's hitting the catwalk.
You know, I've been high on Flacco in the past, and I don't know
that
why
doesn't
anymore.
sound right, dude, because there's a drug that's kind of like the same name. I've been high on Flacco in the past. And there is a drug that's called that. So it don't sound right, Chris, when you say you're high on Flacco.
I'm not into that, so I didn't know that.
Okay.
I might have heard it.
Well, I'm not into it either, but I do watch, YouTube videos. Anyway, so you were a little disappointed and taken back by him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the guy's won a Super Bowl. He's gotten the team to the playoffs. I don't know how many times, but you know what? If Phillip Rivers, who was kind of an equal level quarterback, I would say, maybe a little bit better than Flacco.
Right.
If he's on that sideline and they're getting butt whipped like that, he's going to be John and talking and getting into the game. Flacco he didn't even seem like he was into the game.
Chris said butt whipped. I mean, this is going to be a new tag that we're going to. I mean, Chris said if he's going to get butt whipped, I got to get my sound. I do got to get my sound effects in here for you, Chris. So when you say butt whipped, okay. So Flacco got butt whipped.
Yeah, I mean they did. They were never in that game.
Okay. All right, Chris. Let's do something here. Let's just go ahead. I want to kind of give a preview about what's going to happen here. So let me give the preview on what I think is going to happen here. We have an expected phone call coming in at 10:45 from Rocco right out of the Detroit area. We're excited to get Rocco back on the show. We also want to let you know if you are going to call in, then know and kind of pay attention to the show. I don't want everybody calling in at one time, but we got Rocco at 10:45 going in. And who else do we got coming in here on the show, Chris, today?
That's all I got. My guy couldn't make it in today, so we'll see who else calls in. I'm sure you'll get somebody calling in wishing you a happy birthday here and there.
I hope we don't get too carried away on that. We're trying to talk football, I said. And who knows who's going to call me and give me a hard time, and that's the reason why.
Well, anybody that calls better be able to talk a little bit of football.
Oh, they'll talk football now.
Right.
They will talk football. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so with that being said, Chris, here's what we're going to want to do here. Move right along, okay, and let's go into the first game that we want to talk about today. And that first game would be the Panthers are at the Falcons. Chris, go ahead with your pick here with the Panthers at the Falcons and tell me what you think about it.
The Panthers played the Cowboys last week, and their defense really showed up. Luke Kuechly had 13 tackles. Carolina had 6 sacks, 2 by Kawan Short. Their defense is going to win them a lot of games, just like Cam Newton's going to win them a lot of games.
Right.
Olsen is out again with a fractured foot, same foot he hurt last year. I think that'll really hurt Cam Newton, but I think they've got enough weapons there to survive that. McCaffrey didn't have a great game against the Cowboys. He had 10 carries for 50 yards, but he did catch 6 catches for 45 yards. They're gonna need him to get into the end zone a couple times against the Falcons to beat the Falcons. On the other hand, the Falcons did not look good last week. I said it before. I didn't think Philly won that game. I thought Atlanta lost that game. The real question there is, can Matt Ryan get red zone touchdowns? I don't know if it's in Julio Jones's head, if he just, mentally he's just not ready for that. I mean, I find that hard to believe. Or is it Matt Ryan just not throwing the ball right to him? That it's in Matt Ryan's head. But if they can't score red zone touchdowns in the air, they're going to be in trouble, especially because their running back's out. And Devontae Freeman is out for 2 to 3 weeks, I heard, maybe 4. But they've got a great 1-2 combo with Clement Coleman. So I think Coleman will see all the carries today.
Good stuff. I happen to think that the Falcons are going to bounce back this week. They had a real rough game, and with where you got Matty Ice throwing the ball in there in the red zone, I think part of the problem is that they're not really playing the options. They're trying to force this ball in there, and it's making it extremely difficult for anybody to make a play on this ball, including the receiver. So I think they got to change it up a little bit. And I'm just saying, coordinator, let's mix it up here in the red zone a little bit. You might as well put a red flag on who's going to get the ball. Everybody knows where it's going. And I think that part of the problem is there's only one spot you can put it in, and you're hoping you put it in an area that your receiver catches the ball. But, geez, it's putting the pressure on you. With that being said, we have 2 really good defenses going at it. I know we're early in the season, but the league ranking on that is that, is Carolina is the 3rd, and obviously the Falcons the 2nd. But this is going to be one of these games here, I think, that the defense has to show up because you got two offenses here that are really going to want to, pound the ball. They got to run the ball today. They have to open up the passing game. So it's going to be pretty good. Carolina, I think, probably is going to have a little bit better rushing game than the Falcons, but we'll see because Falcons have to run the ball to win this game. They have to take the heat off of the Matty Ice. It's in Atlanta. I'm picking the Falcons to bounce back and show us pretty much the team that everybody expects them to be this week, and take a notch on Carolina here, who's going to be on the road. So I'm going to pick the Falcons in this game, Chris.
I have the Falcons too, and I think that's mainly because they're at home. I think you're right. I think both of these offenses are good offenses, and it's going to come down to defense here. The Atlanta.
I mean, this is a rematch from the end of last season, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a big game too, as far as the rematch status goes on this. It's a really big game. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I want to see this rematch, and this is a division game too as well. This is extremely important for these two. They're in the same division, so that's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, and we don't. This division is kind of one of those not so much a surprise. We're going to talk about the Bucks later, who I'm kind of high on right now with Fitzpatrick, but New Orleans is a team. Atlanta's a good team. Carolina's a good team. You know what? You can toss a quarter in that division for who's going to win it. I mean, this is one of those divisions where a different team wins it every season. So I think you'll see that again this year.
Absolutely, it is a good division, and there was nothing more exciting than actually seeing that and getting to say, oh, some of these teams are going to step up. Oh, backup quarterbacks are taking advantage of an opportunity. Wow. So, yeah, it is going to be exciting. Chris, we're going to move right along here, and I have a feeling that we'll probably jump a little bit around from an order that I have, and that's because of some callers that are calling in. One thing I want to do, though, I want to go right to this real quick here. As you see in my background, what you do see is you see Murph Man. And let's bring this up full screen for you here just so we can highlight this because, a lot of pride in this little guy here. Murph Man is 2-0 on his picks. If everybody's seen him make his picks, he did pick the Cincinnati Bengals to win that game. Is his Thursday pick that he makes. You can find Murph Man on Facebook and just look for Murph Man, like Murph Man. He's the most popular guy on our show by far. He's got me beat out easily. Chris might have an illusion he's more popular, is why he shows up to the show 5 minutes before it starts. But that's just his illusion. Murph Man is the more popular guy on the show. So if you haven't done it yet, go to Facebook, find Murph Man, like him. I'm telling you, by the end of halfway through this season, if you are somebody that likes to place a Vegas bet or something like that, I can guarantee you'll be putting your money on Murph Man. They say that dogs have very keen senses. So when the dog's making the pick, you got to pay attention to what's going on here. Chris, how do you think about this Murph Man pick going? Me and Murph Man 2-0.
I look at it. There's the three of us on the show, me, you, and the Murph Man, and I can't vote for myself. So Murph Man's my favorite guy on the show.
There you go.
Did he pick a Monday night game, or does he do that Monday night?
Murph Man, he's kind of expensive. He likes to be pampered with a lot of treats. So right now he's just doing Thursday night picks, but we're going to talk to his talent scout and his talent agency and see if we might be able to get him to start doing a Monday night picks as well. And if we can get him into the studio twice on Mondays and Thursdays, that would be a treat for everybody. So we'll see about getting Murph Man in the studio very soon. Chris, what are you? Murph Man's 2-0. What are you?
I am 1-1.
1-1. And I'm 2-0 with you, Murph Man. I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Yeah, you pick whatever Murph Man picks. I want to see your picks before Murph Man.
hey, we never you want to see mine?
Yeah.
We never said that we had to do our picks before Murph Man.
Well,
We
you can't
never
just
said
copy
that.
the dog.
But hey, why not? Why can't I copy the dog?
Well, if you pick in Detroit to go 13-3, you probably want Murph Man to make your picks for you.
It's all about the dog life, trust me. It's all about the dog life. Let's move right ahead into this. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to move into the Lions, Chris. I want to move to the Lions and skip ahead. And there's a very good reason why I'm doing that. Because right now, here comes our call. So that's why I did this.
That's good timing.
Rocco, good morning. It could not have been any better timing to call the show, my friend.
Hey, good morning.
How's it going, Bell?
Good. How's it going?
It's going good.
Is today your birthday?
It is, my friend. It is.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my birthday today, so we're doing the birthday show here. Rocco, I just pulled up the next game we're talking about. First and foremost, how's life over there in the Detroit area? How's your weather today?
Hot and muggy.
Hot and muggy? This time of year?
Again. Oh, yeah. It's been like this for the last 3 days.
Really? What's your temperature?
I think yesterday was like 85.
Wow.
It'd be pretty much maybe a couple degrees cooler today, but it's muggy. It's muggy already.
Wow. That is this time of year, I can't believe that.
I know.
Wow. You better put some sandbags by your door in case those icebergs start melting. So, hey, Rocco, you got the Lions are at San Fran today. What do you think about that?
Jeez. After Monday night?
Oh, man.
Hey, Rocco, Chris here.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Good. What's going? What was it like in Detroit after that game Monday night?
It's just like everybody was like, that's the same old Lions. Yeah. Been going through this for years. Just another season.
And you know what? It's funny because I was watching that in a bar, and everybody around there that was a Lions fan, well, obviously you could tell because we were the calmest ones in there. But even with Rocco going through that for a number of years, you know, Rocco, real quick, you know the first Detroit Lions game I ever went to, I went with you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Me, you,
Dome,
your mom, Sally. Your mom took us to a Detroit Lions game versus the Packers.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first NFL football game, Rocco. So I got that memory there with you and your mom there going to the Green Bay Packers game.
Uh-huh.
And we lost.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, we lost. But as much as that happens, Rocco, I don't know about you when you're kind of nonchalant and you're like, yeah, well, this is the same old thing. But my jaw was hanging down when I saw Stafford, who I expect to, okay, I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to lose. The Lions are going to lose, but they're going to lose on the defensive end. We're going to put up all these points, and then on the last drive, we're going to lose. What did you think? Was that what you were thinking?
That's what I was thinking until they started to really get after him and hurt him, you know?
Yeah.
And he was out there hurt.
He was out there hurt, you're right. We had someone on the show that tried to tell us a couple weeks ago that Stafford was soft. And I was like, wait a second. This guy is not soft.
No. He'll play through anything.
Yeah. So good thing. But that was shocking to see him like that, wasn't it?
It's just, you know, it's hard to explain. It's just him. That's who he is.
Right.
He gives it all he can. He's just not a winner.
Yeah.
What else does it boil down to?
You're right. You're right, Rocco. It boils down to that. But what I like to say all the time is, and I don't let him off the hook easy on this, is that I'm going to give a lot of the credit to the coach. Any coach whose name's Patricia, I'm going to have to, you know, I'm going to put this one on Pat. And you know what I used to say every time I say Pat. You know, he can pat on them all right.
Oh, yeah. That's his defense out there. He's the defensive guy.
That's what I was thinking. And Chris, whose defense was he coaching for before this?
New England Patriots, and now he's going up against Garoppolo this week. So it should be a good game for Detroit. This will really show if they're going to be any good, if they can beat San Francisco. There's talk that Patricia, and we talked about this on Thursday, has already lost the locker room, and to me as a fan, I look at it going, why aren't these players listening to him? He's got a pedigree that shows that they know how to win, and the Bill Belichick model is a winning program. Why wouldn't they jump on board of his toughness and his, get it right and down to details? And they obviously weren't down to details in that game against the Jets.
Rocco, I'm going to let you answer that for Chris.
I think he needs a little time. He's got to get his players in there. He's dealing with, guys that he didn't bring in.
Right.
I said that on Thursday too. He needs to make his power move and cut somebody that they're not expecting to be cut.
All right.
Now,
I agree.
You support the coach, Rocco?
Don't really have a choice, I mean, it's only 1 week. It's only 1 week. Got to give them a little leeway, but that was a game they were supposed to win, regardless.
You're absolutely right. They were supposed to win that game, and just to see when you get a rookie. Wait, all right. Here's where I'm bothered, Rocco. Is I'm bothered by it this way. Yeah, you were with that New England organization for a long time, and I know you had the headphone on and you were the defensive guy on the sideline, but we all know who was really coaching that defense over there. We know it's Belichick, and you're just the poster face of the one they call the defensive coordinator. We know who's running the defense over there. I don't care who's on that team. But when you come over here and you got a team that comes into your home stadium and it's a rookie quarterback who comes out on his very first possession, the very first snap, and throws an interception, and your defense does it right there, ram it down his throat, and taking a rookie quarterback. So that's when I ask you this, Rocco. Is Sam that good, Darnold, or were the Lions that bad?
Jeez, probably a little bit of both.
Yeah? You think that rookie quarterback's going to be somebody that we talk about here in the years to come?
I think so, just because of the way he finished out after that first throw. He didn't let it bother him, got right back to business. Looked like he knew, looked like he was a veteran out there.
I agree with you. 100%. He did look like a veteran, calm, cool, and collected. He did. As Stuart Scott used to say, the great Stuart Scott. He looked as cool as the other side of the pillow.
And they found a big enough helmet for him. Now he can go out there and play.
That's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one. He should probably relocate where there's a no helmet law. Yeah, he's got a biscuit, no doubt about it.
No, but I think he'll be good, man.
Yeah,
he's going to be good.
I agree with you. So, Rocco, what is your game of the day today? What game do you got your eyes on? Aside from the Lions at the 49ers, what's a game you got your eye on today?
I was really liking the Minnesota-Green Bay game, but with Aaron Rodgers not at 100%.
Yeah.
That game can get ugly quick if he's not in there being effective.
Right. We've seen that before. So, what
New
else?
England, Jacksonville for sure.
You're talking about the Jacksonville game?
Yeah.
Yep. Another good one.
New England. Yeah, it's going to be a real good one.
Who you take on that? Now, Rocco, I want to remind you, you really already did pick this game.
I know.
Are you sticking with your preseason pick?
Yes, I am.
All right, yeah. So, Chris, you heard it, right?
Did he just influence you into that pick?
No.
I thought I was hearing you go, yeah, Patriots are, you sure Fournette isn't going to play. They're showing that he's pretty much likely not to play. So I don't think I don't think Jacksonville's defense is good, but their offense is not going to be good without Fournette. I think that not having Fournette.
TJ Yeldon can play.
This is true. He's one of those backups where you're lucky to have him if your main man goes down. But what do the Patriots have to do on defense against this Jacksonville team? They have to shut down Yeldon because Blake Bortles isn't going to beat a Patriots defense.
Why do you keep saying Blake Bortles isn't going to beat anybody? Blake Bortles was in the playoffs last year, and then he got a paycheck. Why? Because he's making completions on 3rd and long in playoff games where you have to make a pass and everybody knows you're going to pass it. What did he do? He rolled out and passed it.
His last paycheck last year was for the losers of the AFC Championship game against the New England Patriots. Yeah. And you know what? Jacksonville was in that game, but because of their coaching, they lost that game because they didn't try and put the throttle down on the Patriots, and they let the Patriots right back into it at the end of the half. That gave the Patriots momentum. The Patriots are one of the better second-half teams because they make those adjustments at the second half.
Rocco, what do you think about that?
I agree with that completely. They didn't finish it.
And what about what do you think about the Jacksonville quarterback?
He's shaky at best, but when he's on, he's on.
His athleticism saves him.
Yeah, if he tucks it away and starts to run here and there too, that's just going to open it up even more. So,
I mean, I've noticed a change.
Without Fournette, you never know what their game plan is going to be.
Yeah,
right. So, but you're sticking with your pick, and you're taking Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I'm with you 100% on that, Rocco. I'm picking Jacksonville to win that game as well. So, Chris, unfortunately.
Now, let me give you 2 players to watch in this game that are kind of going to surprise people. One is going to be Sony Michel if he plays, and it looks like he might actually play. Look for him to have an interesting game. And then Austin Seferian-Jenkins is my pick for Jacksonville to kind of sneak a touchdown in there, because I think they're going to need that tight end, and typically the Patriots give up some yards to tight ends.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Yeah, Rocco,
he should be open.
So I know you're the big fantasy football guy, Rocco. Name me a player who has the best day today, whether it's receiving, passing, or rushing.
Well, let's see. How about I'll give you my best flex guy for the day.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's going to be James White on the New England Patriots.
James White.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good pick.
Sony Michel getting in there, but James White is going to be the dump off guy as usual.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
The way those New England Patriots beat you, they nickel and dime you, don't they? Yep.
And who's the receivers? I mean, Chris Hogan, what do you have? 3 targets last week? One catch. That's their main guy.
Yeah. Well, and Philip Dorsett stepped up, and I mean, I don't see that being a year-long thing for Dorsett to get 6-7 catches a game. But you never know with these Patriots. It's next man up.
They're signing somebody. Yeah, they're signing somebody every day. It seems
like. There's talk right now of Josh Gordon, who he hasn't been really. He'll be released Monday or traded by Monday. I don't think that's a fit for the Patriots. I think you'll see Kenny Britt come back onto the team Monday.
Yeah. I think I saw they signed him today, or working him out or something.
Yeah, they're supposed to work him out on Monday. And another guy that hasn't been signed at and I think with the Patriots offense, it's a very difficult offense to learn for people coming in new to it. And so I think you'll see even a Malcolm Mitchell sighting in the next couple of weeks once he's healthy. Because you can't bring in a Gordon and a Des Bryant because they're not going to be ready for 4 weeks till they learn that playbook. By that time, Edelman's back.
All right. Crazy how one guy being gone can screw up the whole offensive plan, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Rocco, what do you got going on for your Sunday football today?
Nothing much, man. Just hanging out around the house, cleaning up.
Awesome.
Getting things ready for tomorrow.
Well, Rocco,
watching football.
You getting things ready for tomorrow? Just what do you mean? You mean like the start of the work week and the kids to school and everything?
Yeah. Cleaning out my truck, getting all my tools situated, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Rocco, I'm coming in. You're hosting me at your place. We're going to do the show. I'm going to be doing my part of the show from your place on the 30th, Sunday. So that's going to be fun, man. I hope it cools down a little bit for me by the time I get there.
Yeah, me too.
So that'll be the 30th. I'll be over there at your place doing the show.
Cool.
Get some nachos, man.
Yeah,
I'll bring some jalapenos. You get the nachos. Now we got to get your brother Mario. We got to get Mario over there too.
Yeah. I'll get a hold of him.
All right, cool. There we go. We get the Primo brothers up on the show. Rocco and Mario. I mean, come on now. There's the Primo brothers right there. All right, Rocco. Hey, we got some more calls getting ready to come in. Thanks for your football knowledge. We do appreciate it. And we'll be talking to you soon. Have a good Sunday.
All right, you too, guys. See you later.
Take care.
All right, bye.
We talked about some good games there, John. There's some really good games here. I'm looking at the schedule right now. We already talked about the Panthers Falcons. That's a good division game. Then we talked about the Vikings Packers. That'll be an interesting game. I hope Rodgers plays in that, because I really think that'll be a game to see who's going to win in the NFC. Then you got the Lions 49ers. I think will be a great game, not a division game, but you got the Patriots Jaguars. We talked about them. You also have the Raiders Broncos, another good division game. Giants Cowboys, another great division game. That a lot of these games are kind of flip a coin type games of who could win it.
Sounds like a great Sunday, and I agree with you. A lot of them are like that. And this is what we watch the game for. We want to see a tight game. I love college football as well, but the thing I don't like in the beginning, most of the time in the beginning of the season, when you get these blowouts, it's not entertaining to me. So I love it when I get these matchups. It's a difference to me between the NFL and college. But, I mean, we were lucky enough to have a couple good college games so far. But NFL, the matchups here, it's looking like going to turn out to be a really fun Sunday watching all these games. And I can't wait. Chris, let's talk and highlight another game here that's coming up. We have the Colts that are at the Redskins. Everybody got a chance to see that first week of, the Colts offense. And, when you talk about MVP, it's crazy when you start talking MVP stuff, because sometimes an MVP's not even playing. In Andrew Luck last year, when he was out for the season, and you seen who the Colts were without him, it was quite shocking. And then you get him back here at the beginning of the season this year, and you look at this guy. Andrew Luck is an NFL quarterback, man. He really is, man. He's the one that really pushed Peyton Manning out the door 2 years early in Indianapolis.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I don't think Luck's going to be the Andrew Luck he was 2.5 years ago. I think the problem there is the defense. Last year in 2017, they blew 9 halftime leads. 9.
Yeah, wow.
9 halftime leads. That you can't do that as an NFL team.
But they were, sometimes, and I heard this. I was watching that Lions game, and we're hearing that sometimes it does happen where one player's not having their game, and it's that particular players or something that can move a whole team and inspire a whole team. So sometimes it's like from 1 week leading into the next, they really didn't have their football winning mind when they took the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand that. And I mean, it's kind of weird, because I think Luck brings that winning attitude to them. I mean, there's no doubt that the guy can win football games, and another coach that needs to get his team in line and get them playing the football they should be playing.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. So with that being said, Chris, Colts at the Redskins.
You want to pick?
I'd love to hear your pick on that.
I actually have the Redskins at home on that one.
You do?
Yes.
Why?
I don't think the Colts defense is good enough to hold a lead. I think you'll see an okay game from Luck, and he'll have another 300-yard, 2 touchdown, maybe 3 touchdown, 1 interception game. But I think the Redskins at home with their defense will win that game.
That's pretty bold prediction right there. What is it with the Redskins though that you're actually seeing and liking that they win the game?
I like that. I like Gruden there as their coach. They came out and they thumped. Who did they play last week? I can't remember who they played last week, but that's all right. So I really think that they're going to just come out. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to do those little dip and dunk passes, and they're going to go down the field against that Colts defense.
I am going to take the Colts on this. I'm going to have Indianapolis roll into town. They're going to win the game with their quarterback Andrew Luck. He's a brute. He's a mule. He's a jock. And he's going to will them to win this game. He has a winning mentality. He's like a kid playing a game. He gets so excited about everything going on. He's a great sport, everything about it, but it's him, his mentality. He's going to will them to win a game here. And I'm taking Indy to come into the Redskins. I'm going against a home team here. And I'm picking Indianapolis Colts to come in and win this game against the Washington Redskins.
Hey, John, can you re-say those adjectives you described Andrew Luck with for me again?
He's a brute. He's a mule. He's a jock. You mean those?
Yeah. I think you have the wrong player there. I think you're talking about Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson is all of that. There is no doubt about it. I think it's great that the Skins got him. Okay, and if anything, he is going to take heat off everything. But we talked about this many, many times, and it's been used. The word's been used, shootout. And I think we're looking for a shootout. And when it comes to a shootout, you're going to have to throw the ball. And I'm looking for Andrew Luck to have that last possession and win this football game for the Indianapolis Colts.
You know, all right. You got T.Y. Hilton, Ryan Grant, Chester Rogers as their wide receivers. Then you look at Washington. You got Crowder, and who else they got? Paul Richardson. So, you know what? Both those teams have not all pro wide receivers, but decent wide receivers. I hope it is a shootout. I got Alex Smith going in fantasy. So I that's probably one of the reasons I'm taking the Redskins at. And I think Adrian Peterson, another comeback player of the year for him.
Part of the problem is going to be with Andrew Luck today to see this. And I will tell you this, and I will admit this. Chris, a lot of times when it's a close game, I go with the home team.
Sure.
This is me liking Andrew Luck as a quarterback, that I'm really looking for this kid to bounce back and have this great season. And I'm not much of a Redskins fan, okay? I still hold a little bit of bad blood from the 1991 playoffs. Barry Sanders and the Detroit Lions were one game away from the Super Bowl. A local there in your area, Mr. Wayne Fonts in the Tarpon Springs area, was the coach for the Detroit Lions there. And I've talked to him about that game several times. And part of that problem in that loss, it was in Washington. The field was ice, okay? And Barry Sanders didn't have the cleats. He did not have the cleats to play on ice. They needed to get that guy some cleats. But that was a tough loss. I will never forget that game. We were hanging out at the Murray Ranch watching that game. And whoo, man, I'll never forget that. So I've never really liked the Washington Redskins. Ever since then, I'll kind of go against them. So that kind of describes my emotional side of my pick there, Chris.
I hear you. You know what? I mean, I think the only time I liked the Redskins was when it was that John Riggins team and the Hogs.
Well, it was fun to watch Riggins.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch Riggins. Chris, I'm going to cruise this right along here. The Texans and the Titans. The Texans are going to the Tennessee Titans. Chris, you got a little bit of action with them and seen them play last week. What do you think about this game? Texans at the Titans.
I think the Texans roll over them.
Why?
I think you're going to see Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins have a great game. Running game of Lamar Miller. Tennessee didn't show up against Miami.
Impressive Watson, wasn't he? Started out a little bit rough, but competitor. Impressive. Tough guy, isn't he?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I think he looked like he could be back to the form he was before he got hurt last year. I mean, what did we see him in 4 or 5 games last year? This kid's going to be an exciting player to watch in the NFL for years to come. And I mean, their offense is powerful. Their defense is TJ Watt, and they're going to be a tough team to beat.
I agree with you on that. They've got defense. We know that. So to me, it's like it's coming down to that thing. There is Mariota going to be able to throw the ball and make something happen. And when you really look at it, it's crazy because their offense kind of matches up a little bit better with the Tennessee Titans and their defense. Okay, it would say that, hey, if you go on paper and you look at it on paper, you're seeing that the Tennessee Titans are the team here with a slightly better offensive performance, a slightly better defensive performance in the last week's game. But they're very even aside from the rushing game that the Texans have, and that could be the difference maker, which opens up the passing for Watson in this game. So I'm looking forward to that game. And Chris, I can tell right now, pretty much by what you're saying, that you're looking for the Texans to take this game on the Tennessee Titans home field.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? It's funny. I just looked at a matchup predictor that shows it shows who the fans are picking, and everybody has it's 43% Houston, 56.6% Titans. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I really think the Texans run away with this game here.
Well, I can see why you would think that. And part of the reason why you're thinking that, I think, is because who the Texans played in week 1. Does that have anything to do with your pick?
No. I said week 1. I wouldn't be surprised if Houston went in and beat the Patriots. I think Houston's a good team.
But that's what I mean. Is it that it was such a good game that you're thinking Texans are better than what maybe some people thought? Or is it that your New England Patriots are maybe not as good as you hope they to be?
No, the Patriots are better than I thought. I thought that Houston game would be a close game. It wasn't. The score was 7 points, but that wasn't indicative of the game. The Patriots were in that game, winning that game the whole time.
Well, I'm taking the home team here. I'm taking the Tennessee Titans. I'm looking for the Texans to go ahead and start their season off 0-2, as good as they may have looked against those New England Patriots. I'm looking for the New England Patriots to show their true colors today. This is the end of an era there in New England. I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it again. You'll hear me say it all season long. It is the end of an era there. Chris, get used to it and see what you can get for your season tickets now.
Who in the AFC East is going to beat the Patriots? The Bills?
Maybe.
Did you see the game they played?
Oh, who else you got?
They're going against the Chargers and putting against the Rams and putting a rookie quarterback in. They're 0-2. You got the Dolphins.
Dolphins always give the Patriots a hard-fought game, no matter what the records are for either team. The Dolphins, you can have the New England Patriots with an undefeated season, 12 games into the season, they go into Miami and lose it.
Yeah, but they've still got 12 wins, and nobody in the
But
AFC
when you're saying who's going to beat them, you brought up those Miami Dolphins.
No, I meant who's going to win the AFC East and take over that playoff spot.
I get it. New England's in the easiest division of all time. It's why they dominated for 20 years. Or is it the quarterback?
It's both. It's bad. I mean, the Patriots make those teams look bad.
Okay, we always get sidetracked here, but we're on the Texans and the Titans. I do like to get you going though.
Who's the coach of the Titans? Where do you play his ball?
You tell me, Chris. Where?
Mike Vrabel, another Patriots guy coaching in the NFL. That's an interesting twist to this game too, because Vrabel was the assistant head coach of that team in Houston. So does he have some inside knowledge of how to play against the Houston? So that'll be an interesting twist to that game.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a nice twist to it. Let's cruise right along, Chris.
You took the Titans there, right?
I did take the Titans. Chris, the next one is a great game here. One of your hometown teams here, one of my hometown teams, and we're not talking about Philadelphia. We are talking about those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris, with the Philadelphia Eagles rolling into Tampa Bay here, the Sunshine State. What do you think, especially after what we saw from these Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their second-string quarterback?
I don't think you can call him a second-string quarterback anymore. What do you have? Through 21, or what do you have? 417 yards, 4 TDs. That's a quarterback that beat a good team last week. in New Orleans. I mean, I guess New Orleans defense isn't as good as we thought it was going to be, but
it wasn't as good as everybody thought it was going to be, or was that Tampa Bay offense better than anybody could have imagined? And that's the route I'm going to go, because all you really have to do is say this. Take this Tampa Bay receiving core. Take them. Take any quarterback you want in the NFL and put them with that team. And if you could take the GOAT, if you could take, some of these other big time, if I could take Stafford from Detroit and put him with this receiving core. You remember what he was like with Megatron, and that's a lot what you see in Evans, okay? But I don't think it's that the Saints were that bad. Fitz can throw a long, accurate ball, and look at the receiving core this guy has. He's not just throwing up these silly passes. He's way more accurate on the deep ball than Jameis is, and because of that, I've always liked Fitz. I've always liked him. I think he's a great quarterback. I'm looking for him in these 3 starts he has to go 3-0.
Hey, I'm as a living in Tampa Bay, I'm hoping for that too. We keep talking about Evans and Fitzpatrick and
Jackson.
Jackson's coming off the
he caught a touchdown.
He's coming off concussion protocol, but that's all right. You got Chris Godwin and you have Adam Humphries to receive the ball too.
So, Chris, with that being said, do you agree with me on this offensive what you're seeing here?
I wasn't done talking about people that can catch the ball on this team yet, John.
Talk to me.
Yes, I'm with you. O.J. Howard, first-round pick.
We got to see the tight end still, right?
Cameron Brate, the guy's a touchdown machine. He's not. Fitzpatrick doesn't like him as much as Jameis does, but I think O.J. Howard will be the Cameron Brate of last year with Fitzpatrick. Once his offense really gets rolling, we can see what Peyton Barber and Ronald Jones has yet to step up. They really need him to step up as that rookie running back and get into the games so that Peyton Barber, 1, can have a rest, and 2, that if you get that offense clicking, they can score some points. Their question is, can the defense keep them in these games?
And that is the question, and I fear for that. And it's not the problem with me with the defense is ever since we had that great defense with the Barber, the Lynch, and everybody in that backfield, that's been the problem ever since, is that we don't have that defensive backs. We don't have the corners, and we don't have the safeties, and we don't have everybody that we used to have in that defensive back. That was a lot of teams praised us for that defense, but that's what worries me, is you do all this hard work and you grind it out, and then a deep ball goes and you watch it yet again. Where was that corner? Where was that cornerback? And what are you playing? What happened there? And so to me, I'm looking for this defense to show up and support. We don't need it to be a shootout like last time, but 48 points from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Are you kidding me?
At the beginning of the season, when we were doing these preseason shows, we looked at that schedule, and without Jameis, we saw the Saints, Eagles, Steelers. We saw those as 3 losses. Now I'm kind of looking at it going, all right, I think they can beat the Eagles today. I think the Steelers will be a good game. Then they go to the Bears, and we have our quarterback controversy starting there. Then they get a week off, and then they play the Falcons. I think today will show what kind of team the Falcons are going to be. So then they play the Browns, and the toughest in the first 7 games they have is the Bengals right now.
I mean, which would be quite a fun shootout to see, but I'm looking for the Buccaneers. I'm with you 100% on that, Chris, is that I was looking at them having a tough time without Jameis, but I said it preseason. I said it the beginning of the season. I'll say it again right now. I will take Fitz over Jameis regardless of the schedule in front of me, regardless of which team I'm playing. If you give me 2 quarterbacks on a team, they are Jameis and Fitz. Fitz will be my starter. Jameis will be the backup. That's who I would have as my starting quarterback. I thought it last year. He came in. He went 2-1. Okay, he went 2-1 with us, and now he's 3-1. And today I look for him to go 4-1 against the Super Bowl champions Eagles there that I know you're a big fan of over there, Chris. Philadelphia Eagles.
It's not the Eagles that I don't like; it's their fans.
Oh, that duly noted.
Hey, intern Isabella, can you find out what in last year what the Bucks did in the first 3 games?
Wow, goes to the intern Isabella. Yes, let's get Isabella with her stats on the show.
You know, John, I think we both picked the Bucks here, which I think it's a little bit of a surprise for everybody to be picking the Bucks, and I'm still going to stick with the Bucks, but I'm really waiting for Week 4 to see what happens to this Bucks team and who's going to play quarterback. I'm really hoping Fitzpatrick goes on and wins these next 2 games against the Eagles and the Steelers.
If Fitz beats the Eagles today, when he does, and then he faces those Pittsburgh Steelers and wins them, Chris, what do you do?
Oh, you start him against the Bears.
Are you sure about that?
You start him against 100%.
But
if he's 3-0, you have to start him against the Bears. Even if you plan on Jameis coming back against the Falcons after that, after the Bears, they get a bye week, then come back and put him in against the Falcons. Even if he's 4-0, I think he's earned the right to play against the Falcons.
Okay, fair enough. You know, like just in right now in the matchup right now, and it's we're week 2, but still, when you're looking at this, the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is nothing compared to that of the Eagles. They're almost the worst defense, okay, in the NFL. It's kind of scary, kind of sad. Rushing, we're right around the middle, but that passing game fits with the passing game. After week 1, you realize in the league rankings he's ranking 3rd. And he had a great game. You're coming now into Tampa Bay, and coming into Tampa Bay, it's going to be exciting. You know what he wants to do. He wants to have another game just like that, beat these Super Bowl champions. So, I don't know. Chris, does your intern over there in the Tampa Bay studios have that stat for us?
No, not yet.
Actually, I'm trying to find it too at the same time, and I can't find it. So we'll give her a break on that one.
Okay, well, let's give her a break.
It's what my point I was going to try and make there was that the Bucks have started out strong before and then fizzled towards the end of the season. So I just hope that doesn't happen to them this year.
Okay, Chris. With that being said, what I want to ask you this, because what we're going to do here is we're going to end this show off by flying through the picks. Is there a particular game that you have highlighted you'd like to say? Because I'm ready to just fly through the rest of them here.
Let's just go down the list and see, and then if there's one that kind of...
We're going to shake and jive right through this, Chris. Here we go. We got the Chiefs at the Steelers. The Chiefs are at the Steelers, and right there, because of it being in Pittsburgh, I am going to take the Pittsburgh to beat the Chiefs. Chris?
I got the Chiefs winning that. They have one of the most explosive offense in the NFL. Hill can break it anytime he touches the ball. Kareem Hunt is reigning NFL rushing champion, King. And they are led by a second-year quarterback, Mahomes, who can throw the ball. And now he has Watkins and Kelsey as well. This offense is too dangerous for the Steelers, who could barely beat Cleveland.
Yeah, I got that. But don't say anything like that for the fact that that wasn't a Cleveland team that was out there, okay? It was not your typical Cleveland Browns team. That's the new and improved Cleveland Browns, and they're going to give everybody a hard game. Everybody's going to fear the Browns. That's my prediction. I'm taking the Steelers. This running back has a point to prove. He had a great game. They're at home. I'm taking the Steelers. Moving right along, we got the Dolphins that are at the New York Jets. Chris, the Dolphins at the New York Jets. Can you make your pick for me?
This is the battle of who's going to be finished last in the AFC East.
Right.
Oh, no, wait, the Bills. I forgot about the Bills. They could all 3 be tied for last place.
Okay.
But I take the Dolphins.
Dolphins? Chris, you and I are going against the grain so hard right here. I am going to take the New York Jets with their rookie quarterback getting his 2nd win of the year. I'm really looking forward to watching that one a little bit later. Moving right along, Chris, I do take the Jets at home. You got the Chargers at the Bills. Chargers at the Bills. This one's a no-brainer for me. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, I am not going to take the Buffalo Bills on their home field. The Chargers come in here and slap down the Bills and make them really realize, why did we get rid of our playoff quarterback? Chris.
I'm right with you. The Chargers, no question about it.
All right, moving right along on that one. Chris, tell us right away. Lead this one off. Vikings are at the Packers.
I am showing that Rodgers is going to play,
Okay.
so I'm going to take the Pack in that.
Okay, you're taking the Pack. Vikings at the Pack. I same way. If Rodgers is playing, I do want the Packers on this. I think it's going to be a great game. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'll go with the Packers on that one as well. Here we go, Chris. Here's one for you right here. We have the Cleveland Browns are at the New Orleans Saints that just got themselves slapped around by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Browns going on the road and playing the New Orleans Saints. Chris, who are you taking on this game?
Yeah, I you know what? I think we have we differ on a lot of games, and I think we're going to differ on this one because of the way you're talking. I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, I know. And the way I was talking was kind of a setup. I'm taking the Saints too. Love these Cleveland Browns, but I got to stick with the New Orleans Saints to beat them on this one. Cleveland's going to win some games this year, guys, but they're not going to win this one. So with that being said, I'm going to just cruise along. We already highlighted that Detroit Lions at the 49ers. But Chris, just reiterate, who did you take on this one?
Lions. Lions. Still the Lions. Gonna be the Lions. Why are you surprised by that? They've got. I've said all along on paper they're a good team. They've got to rebound from that. You're still surprised? You're gonna take San Fran?
Are you sure you're not from Detroit?
Are you gonna take San Fran? You
sure?
think San Fran's gonna win that game? You don't think San Fran's gonna win that game?
I don't like San Francisco. I am taking Detroit to come in and shake it off. I said, shake it off.
Matt Patricia going up against his old backup quarterback.
Can I call him Patty from now on?
Dude, yeah. You think about that. That guy would squash you.
If you could catch me.
You know what his degree's in?
Yeah, it's not in track.
No, it's not in track. He's an aeronautics engineer. Is what his degree's in from.
Well, maybe he'll be able to smarten up a little bit on that defense. I said. All right, let's move along. Chris, did you get your intern on call yet? She check out of the office there, or is she in the office?
What you got, Isabella?
Their first week they had a bye week.
Oh, that's right, because of the hurricane.
They were supposed to play Miami. We had that hurricane. Yeah. Okay.
That's why it was hard to figure out.
Second week was they played the Chicago Bears and won.
Okay.
And then the third week they played the Vikings and lost.
Okay. And one more game.
And then the fourth week they played the Giants and won.
All right, yeah. I mean, those are teams that you should win and lose to last year.
Yeah, but who was the quarterback when they played the Giants?
Jameis. Jameis was the quarterback.
He got hurt last year.
Not at the beginning of the year, though.
No?
No.
Who was the quarterback when he played the Giants? If we can find that out and go into that game and look at the stats and go into the passing stats on that game for completions, and I would love to see who was quarterback in that game when they played the Giants.
Winston.
Not. But I'll tell you what, the intern was quick on that stat, wasn't she, Chris?
That's my girl.
All right. Okay, let's just shake and jive. Let's move along here. Cardinals at the Rams. Chris.
Rams. You got to take the Rams.
They're
a team you got to take every week almost.
I'm with the Rams on you with that, and it will be hard for me to pick against them, but it will be a pick that you don't pick. I'll guarantee you that. Moving right along. Chris, we've already talked about this. The Patriots are at the Jaguars.
Next, we don't even need to talk about
We don't need to talk about that because we already know what's going to happen there, right? Jaguars are taking that game.
Oh, my gosh.
So I am taking the Jacksonville Jaguars on that. I'm with you, Rocco. Rocco, it's you and me on that pick, pal. Okay, moving right along. We have the Raiders are at the Broncos. Chris, Raiders, Broncos. Chris, Raiders, Broncos.
Broncos.
Okay,
Broncos
I thought we lost them for a second there. All right, so you're taking the Broncos on that, Chris?
Yep.
Chris, you're on national TV right now.
Taking the Broncos at home. Broncos at home.
Chris is taking the Broncos at home, and I'm going to tell you right now that these Raiders Yeah, that's right. Raider Nation is coming into Denver, and they're going to get their win. John Gruden, congratulations ahead of time on your win when you're going into Donkey Town against those Broncos. We call them donkeys. I think that's what people in Denver call them, the donkeys. Okay, moving right along here. The Giants are at the Dallas Cowboys.
This is a game I can't wait to see.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's you know what? We're going to find out who's going to win the NFC East here. Whether the Giants and Cowboys are going to be contenders or not. I actually picked the Cowboys here because they're at home. I think the home team's going to win that game. The Giants are going to put up a good fight. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to take the Cowboys there.
You're going to take the Cowboys there.
Yep, Dak Prescott.
Really hard for me to say Cowboys take this game, but I think what I did at the beginning of the year is that I split it with these two, and I picked the Giants to take one, the Cowboys to take one. So I think that am I correct on that, Chris?
That you picked them to split it?
That they're playing each other twice. I'm pretty sure that.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I'll do on this pick is that I will take the Cowboys at home to win this game. And then obviously you know what I'll do when they play the next one. So that being said, we're going to move right along. Seahawks at the Bears. Chris, Seahawks, Bears.
I'm still not sold on Trubisky. I do like the Chicago defense. Khalil Mack is.
This is a Monday night game, by the way.
Khalil Mack is a beast. I think having him there for another week and getting better conditioned. I think not being conditioned hurt them against Green Bay, and that allowed Green Bay to get back in the game. Green Bay threw some long touchdowns there. The defense was on the field for the whole fourth quarter. So I like the Bears defense, but I'm still going to take Russell Wilson and the Seahawks in that game.
Good pick. I liked a little bit of what I seen there in the Chicago. What's going on? I am going to have to take Russell Wilson as well, going into Chicago and getting the win here. So I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks. We're cruising right along here, and we've run out of time on the show once again. It's really hard to fit this in a 60-minute program. I want to let everybody know, if I have not let you know yet, what you can do is you can check us out. Lipa Live Sports Talk Show is every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Chris,
10:30?
Chris, it's 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. Okay?
10:30.
Yeah, I know you're really feeling it with an Uber limo dropping you off out front. I'll roll out the red carpet for you next time, but the show's at 10:30 doesn't mean you stroll in the studio at 10:20, I said. You didn't even get a chance to put your makeup on this time.
I know, I'm just this pretty.
Anyway, let's get back to this. Every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., every Sunday at 10:30 a.m., you can like us on Facebook at Lipa Live. You can find us on YouTube at Lipa Live. You can watch the live show, LipaLive.com. That's L-E-E-P-A Live, Live.com. That's where you want to watch it if you have a problem watching the show at LipaLive.com, which can be archived at any given time. If you have a problem, then what you're going to want to do is go over to the YouTube channel and watch it there. We've had a real good time having you here today. We're going to be back Thursday, and then there'll be some road trips going on in coming up in the weeks, so it's going to be fun. I'll be back in the Tampa studio. I think I'm back in the Tampa studio with you, Chris, on Thursday.
All right.
So I'm excited about that. Supposedly they're going to have a new set for us. We're going to see what we can get going on that. Yeah, I see your jersey over there, pal. I see your jersey. What are you saying, Timmy?
You know what I got? Let me give you my final thoughts while we're ending this up real quick. I'm obviously got the Pats winning. There were 7 new coaches in the NFL this year. All of them are 0-1 going into week 2. And I see that trend staying the same. I only have one of those coaches winning, and that is Matt Patricia beating up on the 49ers. And that's a game that's really a flip a quarter game to who could win. So I have 6 of those coaches going 0-2 of those 7 new coaches.
Wow. Did I say I took Detroit in that game too? Yeah.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, I take Detroit in that. Come on, Patty.
Yeah,
Come on, Patty.
you got Detroit.
Right. Yeah, I got Detroit. I knew that. All right. Hey, stick with us here. Don't forget you can call in the show. You got to subscribe. If you subscribe, you're going to be able to call in the show. You can message in. You can FaceTime in. You can Skype in, whatever it is. We want you part of the show because you are just like us. We're fans. And if you're not a fan and you happen to be another sportscaster or whatever, we'd love to have you on here. This is how we learned our football from you guys. Call us up, FaceTime, Skype, let us know. We'll see everybody on Thursday for the Thursday game. Over and out from Lipa Live. Have a great Sunday, NFL. Peace out, my friends.
Go Pat.